Hey, it's Auntie Mary, and I'm back with today's little installment of Auntie Mary Said It. So I saw the greatest meme today. I thought it was the greatest meme. It was like, be able to discern between, my cousin posted it, be able to discern between your Peter and your Judas. Peter had a bad day. Judas had a bad heart. Peter, you restore. Judas, you release. And I was like, man, that right there is hot. Because let me tell you something. Some of us have been releasing Peter and keeping Judas, and then we wonder why all Hades is breaking loose in our life. Like, we in the boat and we pedaling, and we think we got our people with us, and we trying to figure out why the boat keep taking on water. It's because Judas is in the boat digging holes, and we done got rid of Peter and kept Judas. It's like, man, you got to be able to tell the difference between your Peters and your Judas. And we all have some Peters in our lives, and we all got some Judases. And quiet as it's kept, some of us are Judas. Hello. Yeah, I said it. See, the thing about Peter, even though Peter messed up, Peter failed, Peter made mistakes, Peter spoke out of turn, Peter allowed his emotions to dictate, how he responded to certain things. But Peter's heart was straight up genuine. Peter's heart was straight up genuine. That's the reason why when you have a Peter in your life, even though they make mistakes, and they will, because they're human, they're going to fail. If you're the Peter in somebody's life, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to fail. But if your heart is genuine, you can be restored. It's kind of like I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the Medea Goes to Jail, the play, not the movie. And I love that because in that play, she gives this analogy of comparing relationships and people to a tree, and talks about the leaves, the branches, and the roots. The Peter in your life, like I said, is going to make mistakes. They're going to fail you, but they're going to keep trying. And that's a leaf or a branch that's trying to grow up to be something else, to be that root, that support for you. That's why you got to be able to tell the difference. And let me tell you, the Peters in your life, those are your people. The people in your life that's always telling you what you want to hear, that's not necessarily your people. That's your stands, but that's not your people. But your Peters are the ones that you keep, that you're willing to get down and dirty with, that's willing to correct you if you're wrong, and you love them enough to correct them if they're wrong. That's your Peters. Now Judas, now that thing is slick right there. That Judas always says the right stuff, and it says all the right stuff and does all the right stuff. But let me tell you about Judas. The Judas in our lives is steady plotting on us in their heart and grinning in our face. I'm gonna tell you something about the different Judases that we have in our lives that we might not even recognize. That Judas, the Judas in your life, the Judas in my life, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They only interested in how can their association with me or you benefit them. That's all they care about. They don't really care about your well-being. They just want to use you and get something from you, or me, but from you. That's what Judas is all about. And Judas is all down for you as long as you're doing exactly what Judas wants you to do, and you say exactly what Judas wants you to say. And the minute that you don't act or say what Judas wants you to, Judas is going to sell you for 30 pieces of silver like that. So you got to be able to recognize your Peters, and don't release your Peters and hang on to the Judas that don't mean you no good. They don't mean you no good. They are out to just take from you. They just want to take. It's like, I'm just spitting everywhere. It's just like the leaves from a tree. The leaves on the tree. This is in Medea Goes to Jail. I didn't come up with this, but the leaves on the tree, they make the tree look full. It makes it look pretty, but they're just there to take from the tree. That's all they're there for. They're just there to take from the tree. That's what a Judas is. A Judas is simply there to take from you. That's all they are. So when I was in 101st, we had, I went to air assault school, and we had this one thing that we had to make sure that we understood when we were doing the loads for the aircraft to do the air assault missions. If there was a problem with that load. It wasn't loaded properly, something. If there was an issue with that load, we had hand and arm signals that we would give to the pilots from the ground to tell them to cut, sling, load, because that thing that they were carrying had the potential to be dangerous. It had the potential to be fatal. So we would give them the signal. You can't see what I'm doing, but we would give them the signal to cut, sling, load. That's what you need to do. You need to sit back. I need to do it. We all need to do it. We need to do it periodically. You sit back, you evaluate your circle, you identify, be able to identify your Peters and your Judases, and you need to cut, sling, load on Judas, because if you don't cut, sling, load on Judas is going to cause you to crash and burn. Serious business. So that's Auntie Mary said it for today. If you like this, share this video. Thank you very much for popping on here with me. I'm going home. I'm sleepy. I'm tired and I'm hungry. And yeah, y'all have a good night.